survival of the fittest, and it's time for another webinar. This is 8 o'clock Friday morning, as usual, in Sweden, and we are tuning into India, 12:30. Next week is actually going to be a change because we in Sweden, we swap to daylight savings. So these webinars will be in India 11:30 as of next week. Today, for the second time, we are having one of our partners presenting, and I'm very, very pleased to welcome Mr. Yuvaraj Patil, Vice President of Product Delivery of ToneTag. How are you today, Yuvaraj?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thanks for the invite, and it's an honor to be here and to share, our product perspective. Yeah.
Fantastic. Where are you based, Yuvaraj?
I'm in Bangalore, India.
Okay. That's sort of the IT capital of the world, or at least in India.
Exactly. They say all the inventions happen here, so we are here and doing all the all the exciting stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much. And you were sort of thrown in last minute, and believe it or not, we did the same with Vijay. It was Raymond Lee. He was thrown in sort of. That was because of COVID. He came in sort of last minute and did a fantastic job. And we have high hopes for you because we have worked quite a lot, Yuvaraj, haven't we, during this sort of last. I don't know, is it sort of almost like 6 months really we've been in contact?
Exactly, yeah. So we've been trying to work with Crunchfish and exploring the solution that we offer, and I think it's a good development that we have, and we're looking forward to it, yeah. Yeah,
no, love to hear more about it. Yuvaraj will do the presentation today, and thanks so much for volunteering, Yuvaraj. It's great. We also have panelists as normal, as I have been sort of stepped in here as a moderator again, Johan Wester hasn't left us. He's just in Amsterdam, our normal moderator, and I promised to, have his back. But we have from India also Mr. Head of India, Mr. Vijay Raghunathan. How are you today?
Hi, I'm very well.
Yeah.
Thank you for the introduction.
Yeah, no, it's great to have you, Vijay. And you are is Gurgaon? Is that still that's where you are broadcasting from? Is that right?
Yeah. I'm based in Gurgaon in India.
Yeah, south of.
It's the second IT hub after Bangalore.
Okay, India. Excellent. So we all covered that. I know that's cool. And Gurgaon, that's sort of just south of the Delhi airport, isn't it?
Yeah, close to the Delhi airport, where a lot of the multinationals have their offices and headquarters in India.
Yeah, perfect. And Vijay, you've been with Crunchfish sort of since we met first in 2019, and very happy you still, doing a great job, Vijay. Thanks so much for keeping up the flag for Sweden in India. I think it's fantastic. And then from Stångby. Patrik Lindeberg,
the third,
CEO of Digital Cash of Crunchfish.
The third biggest IT hub in the world.
Yeah, no, I'm sure everybody in India will now start looking up for Stångby to try to find it, sort of, and Swedes as well, I think.
That's right.
How are you today, Patrik?
I'm excellent. Couldn't be better after the win yesterday in the World Cup qualifier. That was an exciting game. Oh. Very nervous, but it turned out well for us.
Yeah, and now it's going to be Poland, is that right?
Yeah, on Tuesday. Then everything's going to decide if we're going to make it to the World Cup or not. So.
And Patrik, you who is sort of a guy who's really following it, what do you think?
It's a tough one. It's away, so it's in Poland. But I think we have a fair chance to win. And now Zlatan is back. We most likely will win.
All right, yeah. Are you following soccer as well, Yuvaraj? I know VJs, but how about you, Yuvaraj?
I am, yeah.
Not soccer, but cricket, yes. It's the season for IPL now. So we have players from across the globe playing in India for the next IPL season. So yeah, excited to be there.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. And Vijay, sort of your expert opinion. I know you are a big Man U supporter, but what do you think about Sweden, Poland then?
Yeah, I'm rooting for Sweden for sure. Yeah, should be big favorites. I must say I was very shocked by Italy's exit yesterday. That was didn't expect that, but So yeah, it'll be good if Poland and Sweden go through. I'll be rooting.
Well, just one of them.
Sorry, Poland and I mean Portugal and Sweden. Yeah, those are the
Portugal and Sweden.
two countries who can make it to the
Excellent.
because Ronaldo and
yeah, and we have two Swedes playing for Man United in our national team, Elanga and Victor Lindelof.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we're into the first part. As your normal, what we will do is have a presentation first, and we'll be very happy that it will be one of our partners here, Yuvaraj from ToneTag, presenting. And as I said, a moderator-led Q&A. But please fill in questions. You can do it sort of in the chat forum here on Zoom or on LinkedIn, and we'll try to answer them before the end of the hour, where we always have breakfast here, and I guess it's sort of lunchtime in India. So without further ado, the ToneTag introduction. What do you have to say about this, Yuvaraj?
Yeah, thank you, Joachim. Let's get started. I think it's about time. And yeah, like you put up the first slide, definitely. We are the largest sound-based payment system on this planet, and we take all the pride in, delivering our USP across the globe to different clients. So that's exactly what my job is, to deliver this product to different clients in different countries and enable them with proximity payments, sound-based payments, and since COVID happened, a pandemic, that kind of was a blessing in disguise, and all the partners were looking forward to no-touch payments, that is contactless payments, and this is exactly we play a big role, and we are looking forward to many such partnerships like we're doing Crunchfish. So yes, it's a long way to go, and we are gearing up for the same. All right, you could, yeah. Okay, so that's the goal so far. It's been 2 years now. We were doing online commerce, but we are also targeting on transforming these mom and pop stores across the globe in India to convert them into safe, contactless, and digital commerce. By this, what I mean is when our sound tech is used in payment ecosystem, this is where we want to support these mom and pop stores to accept payment over sound and not have the customers queue up in the store to just scan the QR and make payments. With this technology, anybody entering a retail store, all they have to do is just open up app and they get a pop-up. We kind of convert the whole store into a sound zone, and once it is enabled, customers just can walk in and walk out without having to intervene in the queue or interacting with the retailer after the for payments. So yeah, we give this solution out to B2B as well as B2C. B2B are mostly led by bankers who have their own app and want to integrate this technology, which can again enable them with sound-based payments. And the best part is this solution can work online as well as offline. All right. So, let me dive into the broad range of use cases and products that we currently have in the market. If you could see on the slide, we have the retail pod. So, retail pod is our in-house product, that we have created. We have designed it. The whole idea was to ensure, sound-based payments can be accepted again anywhere in India. And this pod does exactly the same, right? So this not only accepts payments, but also gives the merchants, or rather the cashiers, because merchants do not sit at the cash counters. The cashiers are sitting at the cash counters and they're looking for a confirmation of the payments that are made across the stores, right? So with this retail pod, you can enable QR scan and pay payments, and it can also work as a tap and pay product. And the best part is merchants are also showered with offers which they can always avail when they tap on the product. tap on the retail card using our app. That's a smart store app that we give out to these stores, right? So they can also get offers for engagement and promote those offers in the house, in the store to all the customers, right? So that's one device that has been selling like hotcake, and we are very proud of it. So feature phone payments is another, I would say an icon of a product. We have been working with RBI and NPCI. So these are the governing bodies of how payments would work in India. So we are kind of a proud, we've introduced feature phone payments in India, wherein when I say feature phones, these phones do not have any kind of app, right? But we are still able to use these phones to make digital payments across India. So that happens over IVR. Maybe I can talk ahead when we have payment use case flow, right? P2p payments, yes, we can do this. When do you use this? When you see people ordering stuff online, but they prefer making payments when the delivery happens, right? So this delivery can happen anywhere. It could be in an apartment or a basement. So we do see there are a lot of internet challenges for these, vendors who deliver and have to accept the product. Cash payments is out of the game right now because everybody is promoting digital since COVID happened, and we appreciate people are coming forward and making use of digital payments. So P2P is one use case where a person can transfer money to another person without any issues. Smart pairing again. So smart pairing is something our SDK enables every merchant POS machine or a self-checkout machine wherein customers can just walk in and walk out, without worrying about internet. So the POS machine can pair with the customer's phone and generate the tokens via sound and help customer make payment and self-checkout. EDC machine is another revolutionary solution that we got into the market. Mind you, the creators or the manufacturers of EDC machine did not have a clue that such technology can be integrated in this device without making any change to the device. It was a small piece of SDK, a software, which uses the buzzer of this EDC machine to generate that sound, and it is as secure as your any payment that you carry out in the EDC machine, right? So yeah, ATM and kiosk is use cases that have been evolving over the period of time. Same works. ATMs have buzzer, and kiosk too has an audio, video interface which can be used for sound-based payments and checkout. And POS, yes, POS. I think I should be talking more on POS. These are point of sale machines that are installed in various bigger stores or smaller, medium, stores, wherein we are trying to, when we say you want to digitize the entire commerce, we also want to ensure that the inventory of that particular offline store is maintained and customers are able to place orders at the store by seeing what product is sold. So we have this small piece of software that goes into POS machines, can actually analyze the data of the inventory and post it to the customers to place orders. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. All right, that's the ecosystem we have. We we across like South Africa, Sri Lanka, India, of course, and Asia Pacific, Japan, all right, Middle East. So we kind of enabling every bank app across the globe with this technology, and the numbers are still growing. So yeah, that's the ecosystem we are at right now. Okay, yeah, this is where I would say the money stops here. So because if you do not have a patented technology, that's when questions arise, right? So we made sure that we have applied for the patents for our technology, and those patents are granted for us, not only in India, but in US as well. Japan, South Africa, Malaysia, yes. And by the way, we filed over 20 plus patents. This is the old number, and we have around 16 patent grants now. And we're really happy about it. And we just got one grant last week. So that's in India. So that makes a lot of difference, right? So with this, patents, we made sure we have this strong IP assets, and we become a pioneer in this sound technology industry. and have some loyalty when people use our software across the globe, right? And interoperable and trusted, I would say, when I say interoperable, we are not looking at any major hardware change in any of the products like a POS machine or a EDC machine. Anything that has a mic and a speaker can be converted into a ToneTag enabled device, right? So that's how much simpler it can be when it comes to enabling a device for payment or customer engagement or even a merchant engagement. Yeah, you can go to the next slide. All right, so when you have payments, definitely questions arise. Is it secure? Definitely yes. We've been evaluated by PCI and BSS as well as the Payment Commission of India. We use tokenization when there's a large amount of data that needs to be transferred. We rather stick to token because we are looking at not only safe but a simpler and quickest way of data transfer, and that is something we take care when we tokenize the data, and it allows increase the durability or the speed or the efficiency of the payment process. All right. So postcard emulation is something we can create a virtual card in backend without exposing the actual details of a card, right? So TOTP is something it's temporary OTP that can be used to authenticate any payments, and definitely white box cryptography is something every developer, I think, India does when you kind of inject encrypted code to a larger code base to ensure if it's hacked, you still have you still have a secured code base, right? And compatible and cost effective. Yes, we've kind of made sure that ToneTag solution and the SDK along with the license that we provide to our clients is reasonable. It's up. It can help you capture your market. Implementation very simpler. You can get started in no time, and and the best part is you need not put in any additional hardware to enable your devices with this particular technology. In development, we also are coming up with a plug and play module that if in case your your device does not have a speaker or a mic, we could always use a plug and play module and convert the entire system into a sound-based payment zone, right? Yeah, let's go ahead. Okay, so this is another highlight. Yes, definitely, we've been backing projects from Amazon Pay, and they are working alongside with us to convert every mom and pop store into a digital commerce store, and we are also promoting Amazon Pay across these stores, which is enabled without technology. All right. Amul, yes, another great networks in India, who are suppliers of milk and milk products. We have worked with them to simplify, feature phone payments because most of those, product transactions happen in rural India, and then it's get transported to the, tier 1 and tier 2 cities. So this is where payments can happen over feature phone, and the villagers or can use feature phones to make and also receive payments when they supply their products to the company. Yeah, NPCI, yes, definitely we've been working in and out with NPCI and definitely Reserve Bank of India to launch. We launched the feature phone product wherein people can not only pay but also recharge their mobile phones. They can use a tap and pay solution using the Vijay bot to make payments at a store, and they can also recharge the what do you call the FASTag, which people are using today for paying toll fees when they're on the road. So that's the challenge we have. We have over 90% of commerce still not digitally enabled. So we are working towards the same to make sure everybody is, have a sound technology that enables them to make payments. Yeah. Okay. So this is, we'll talk about a couple of payment user journeys that we have in the market. Like I mentioned, we have the retail pod, it's a very low cost digital POS that can accept payments and from any mobile. If you have an app that is enabled with ToneTag technology, you could walk into a store that is enabled with this particular solution. And during payments, you can simply tap on the retail pod, and that retail pod can emit a sound wave or a sound tone. Now, let me just dive a bit into when I say sound tone or sound wave, what does it actually have? So the tone is an identifier of the merchant, right? The tone will carry the data that will help you identify the end merchant. So when the app actually taps on the phone and it listens to the tone, it can decode that tone. Our SDK can decode the tone and show the data, or maybe just a simple UI that shows the payment pop-up to a customer. They can enter the amount and make the payments at the store. And at the same time, you get a notification on the pod that might say payment successful for so and so amount, and it gives a confirmation to the cashier who's sitting at the counter. Okay, yes, I've seen the last payment. We also flash at times the user encrypted details on the pod, which can be referred, to ensure that the right customer has made the payments. We all have also exposed the dashboard to each of these merchants who can track these payments that are done at these stores, right? So in addition to audio, we have visual payment data, like, for a day's time, what is the amount that has been paid over this particular payment device. We give that data to the customer. That helps them in reconciliation, and also they can request for reports which are automatically generated in the dashboard. So, Scan and Pay is something simpler. We did also have Scan and Pay, and we're still driving it. The reason being, people are definitely used to the Scan and Pay, payment use case or a scenario or the flow. This is very common, and we made sure that our pod can also work with Scan and Pay. So whatever data I spoke about that gets generated as a tone from the pod can also be hosted via this QR code, right? But QR code might not have the same data that gets paid from the pod, because we made sure that if that data is also in the pod, that can lead to issues, and it can lead to security issues, because a QR code can be anytime compromised and can be copied. So we always promote tap and pay, but yes, QR Scan and Pay is in the market doing its business, and since customers are very used to scanning and paying, so we make sure it is interoperable and it can be used. So yes, we do give notifications for Scan and Pay as well, right? And like I said, it's interoperable and anybody can use this solution. It works with Soundwave technology for cashless payments and any device, and irrespective of the hardware that you currently have. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. Okay, so P2p payments. This is a payment module that enables anybody to pay from a safe distance. Like I said, if there's a cash on delivery order that is placed by any of the customers, the delivery vendors can use their app to capture payments from customers when they do doorstep delivery, right? So these two apps can talk to each other via sound. Internet or no internet does not matter as long as they're able to talk. And, we recommend around 6 feet of distance, that can be used for this payment, right? So it's again, it depends on the noise levels, in the environment that you are accepting payments in. So yes, but 6 feet is a good distance that can be retained for making these payments. And mind you that we do have sonic and ultrasonic payments. When I say sonic, the tone that gets generated from these apps, it's audible, and when it's ultrasonic, it's not audible to human ears. So it's around 20,000 hertz and above, right? So we made sure that though we have the sound technology in place, we have the capability of enabling sound and also not enabling this sound, because it might get, at times it might get annoying. So imagine if you're in a if you're traveling in a bus and people are coming in and coming out, and we definitely do not want to play the sound and maybe disturb others where they're traveling or just taking a nap in the bus. So in those cases, we use ultrasonic waves which can be exchanged between devices and the payment can be realized, right? Okay, next. All right, so that's how we met ToneTag and Crunchfish. We realized the potential in each other, and we think this integration can help meet payment needs where internet is definitely a challenge, and how offline payments can be realized by the merchants who are accepting payments from the customer. So yeah, that's the generalized architecture that we have. We have the payer account and the pay account. This is nothing but the acquirer and the issuer. So issuer is the one who's making the payment, and issuer has when let's take an example of both going offline. So when the issuer is booking an app and trying to make a payment to the merchant, so there's an action that in this case we kind of have the issuer scan the QR code of the merchant and then initialize the data transfer over tone. So when that data gets transferred from payer app to the pay app, the pay app is able to recognize and realize, okay, this is the authentic customer, and he's now allowed or capable of accepting cash payment or digital payments from the payer. So once the handshake happens and the authenticity is validated, the payer can make payments over sound, and the acknowledgement is given back to the customer. All this can be realized when the merchant app goes online, right? So the debit has happened, but for it to realize, it has to go online, and it's just that once you are online, the debit and credit are real. So this is maybe a small screenshots of the app. We have the customer app on the left to the payer, and we have the merchant demo app on the right. So if you look at the amount that gets debited and credited, both get realized, and both can see it in the transaction logs for respective apps. Okay, yeah, that's how the timeline we looked at. We shook hands in Q4 and realized, okay, there's offline payment within the e-wallet and ToneTag, and Crunchfish wanted to explore this SDK. We did that, and we handsomely evaluated the integration into those demo apps, and we're looking forward to evaluate this again and present the execs of that. It's a bigger Indian company that is going to implement the solution, and once we get through, definitely it's going to pilot cash offline payment. So, yep, thank you, and I think I'm ready to take questions, queries, anything. That thing you think you have on your mind, I'll be able to try and answer. Yes.
Thank you so much, Yuvaraj. A lot of things to cover, wasn't it? I think you did a great job managing time, and a lot of exciting things. And first of all, congratulations for your great position in the world as the largest sound-based network sort of or provider on the planet, really. I think you've done a fantastic job, and you won some prizes as well. Weren't you just awarded here? The ToneTag was awarded in India as some sort of the best fintech, or was some sort of prize that you got? What was that?
Exactly. So we've been awarded the best fintech startup of the year in 2022. I think if you had a marketing, someone here could give you lots of details, but you can always visit ToneTag.com to see the accolades. So we've been attending events, fintech events, and winning prizes across the globe. So we're presenting our technology. And start of the year at the fintech forum is what we won recently, and we have we have also interacted with the Prime Minister of India, wherein we presented the solution. We got the opportunity to let them know what we're doing currently to digitize the entire ecosystem and how we're trying to do it. And to our surprise, the Prime Minister of India had some suggestions for us, and we just we went ahead and took it up, and we're definitely working on it. Yeah.
I thought of just going back to sort of this slide here, the payment user journeys. You talked about retail pod, tap and pay, or you can have scan and pay, and as well as P2P. I guess it's sort of there you could see Crunchfish coming in, where if the payer has digital cash available, then this could happen completely offline. That's sort of what we're looking at here.
Exactly. So that's where the reserve, comes in the big picture. Every payer app, sets a threshold, and that can be, payments can be executed using that particular threshold, right? So yes, I think it's more of a P2P, and definitely it can be also used for tap and pay, wherein both the apps can talk when there is no internet available, and it can enable payments across both the apps.
Let me open up a little bit to our other panelists here. Sort of, if we start with you, Vijay, out of what excites you here of Yuvaraj's presentation and our working with ToneTag here?
I think what they've done with sound has been amazing. So as you know, India, the infrastructure on internet is very, very poor. So everyone in the payment space has been struggling to find options to crack this offline model, and it's been in works for many years. So what excites me most is I think our complementary technologies can really work well to solve this. Even with or with, I mean, there's a retail pod, but even without the retail pod, it's just two merchant app and a consumer app talking and transacting without the internet. I think that's a brilliant combined opportunity. And I think in Yuvraj's presentation, when he was talking about this major payment wallet in India who's working with us, it's a testimony of how we see that this can work. So my excitement is, once we do this with this wallet, it can be extrapolated to so many other partners, not just India, but elsewhere in the world. So I feel that this is a really good partnership that can go along with.
Yeah, and we're soon coming to. It's been postponed a little bit just because of it was Holly, and then it was then I think one of our one key person in the Indian sort of e-wallet got what's sort of temporarily sort of down with I don't know, with some sickness, but we're going to present on Monday, won't we?
Monday.
Yeah,
absolutely, and they are looking forward to it. It's a big team from them. We are at a stage where very ready to go to the pilot stage after the POC, and they've already kind of committed technology resources to take this live into production if everything goes well in the POC and the pilot. So there is a lot of commitment, and I know in a larger context, these guys have committed. I'm told it's close to $1 billion to grow the digital payment ecosystem in India. I mean, that's how big and committed they are for the ecosystem. So it's a great partner to go together with. Yeah. Very exciting.
And you, Patrik, sort of CEO of Digital Cash from the third largest IT hub in the world, Stångby. How do you feel about this whole opportunity, Patrik?
I think there's different dimensions to it. First of all, ToneTag is an Indian company, and if we are to do business in India, we need to have strong partners with the right connections, helping us to open doors and create relations that, even though we have our own organizations, would be hard. So it's great to have a strong partnership in India. So that's one dimension. And the second dimension is, since we're doing offline payments, no network connectivity, we need to have a method to transfer data while being offline in proximity. And I find ultrasound being a very interesting technology for this. as it's very scalable. As Yuvaraj said during his presentation, you just need a mic and a loudspeaker, and then they can transfer data. And basically all electronic devices has that, even feature phones looking ahead. So I think this opens up for our technology to go into devices that we couldn't do with other proximity methods. So yeah, I think those two aspects, having a strong local partner and then the technology as such, both of them caters for a really good partnership.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to go back a little bit to feature phones because the Indian market is a bit sort of special in the sense that I think half of the users in India are on feature phones, not on smartphones, but on feature phones. And you just come up with one project or product that using sort of using the telecom network. Yuvaraj, could you tell us a little bit? We are not really a part of that project because this is sort of using the telecom network and interactive voice response. But could you just give some light on what that project is all about? What you've done there?
Sure thing. Yeah. So, like I said, a large percentage of Indian population still uses feature phones, right? So and with the goal or a vision of digitizing payment ecosystem across India was a challenge, and we cannot expect these, maybe the people to go and buy smartphones just to enable them on digital payment. So they were users of feature phones. So IVR is something we explored. We've been exploring for all this while, and when we did our internal POC, we were happy with the solution. So when I spoke about a retail pod tap and pay, solution, the same pod can be installed at these, remote locations, right? And people using feature phones can call a number on the IVR and follow the instructions, which are very simple and can be available in different languages. Okay, so that people across the country can understand and make payments over IVR. So when they call the IVR, they are presented with with whatever command they need to do. It's actually simple. It's 1, 2, 3 pay right now. That's a term used by RBI and NPCI when they launched the product, right? So they call the IVR. The IVR just simply asks them to tap on the pod, and the pod that emits the tone, right? In this case, we made sure the tone is a sonic tone, and when that sonic tone gets recorded over IVR, it's actually a data that goes to our server. And when we decode the server, we know who that merchant is. We already know who the customer is because they're calling us, and we now know who the merchant is. And when that realization happens, we know who the acquirer is, who the issuer is, and the user can go and dial, make payments to that particular merchant. So we also ensured that these customers who do not have a virtual payment address, we can go ahead and create this virtual payment address. Right? We are also making sure all these users who are calling in, they have an UPI or VPI address, which is used to make these payments, and we notify them over SMS to the customer that payments are made, and definitely the pod also gets notified payments, and the merchant also get notified in their app or the SMS. So we've used the power of IVR to kind of crack this particular model.
Yeah, but it is a system that you don't need data connectivity, so you don't need internet data, but you do need telecom connectivity because you transfer over, it's sort of, you make a call basically, more or less, and transfer voice commands sort of, or that's how it's happening. Yeah,
exactly. So it's just like you calling your mom today, like maybe someone else, okay, mom, I need some money, and just hang up, and that's how, and then the money comes to your account, and voila, there you are. Right? So something like that. Just call and ask for payments or make payments. Yeah.
Could you see the interaction that we have been working here with? If we have the ability to have digital cash on feature phones, that this transaction could also happen in a complete offline mode, not even having to make that call, that we can sort of debit that debit sort of on the digital cash on the paying feature phone and using it that instead. Could you see that sort of as an extension to this in the future?
We could do that. I think maybe the DTMF tones can be used as an identifier for making, these digital cash debits.
Yeah.
When I say DTMF, there could be, say dedicated key presses in the feature phones that can be able to make this kind of payments.
Yeah.
Without having to call this.
Yeah. I think it is an interesting. We are certainly at Crunchfish. We're working sort of from a smartphone to another smartphone. We can pay sort of in proximity, but and we are active now working also to put it on a smart chip, which is on a card or a wearable. We can have our digital cash there, and then we're not far from actually having it on feature phones either, because this slim SIM technology, where the slim SIM is sort of working a little bit like a smart chip. So it's we're moving in the direction of the feature phone, which is exciting, I think, for the Indian market, which is huge. As you know, half of your population is having feature phones.
Correct. That's right. Yeah. So that's where we look at the opportunities to evolve in this particular ecosystem as well, where feature phones are enabled with.
Yeah.
Payments.
I'm thinking, should we try to start widening up with sort of more questions? See, there are, Yuvaraj, are you ready? There are some questions coming in via the chat forums. Some will be, I guess, for you. I think this one is for you, definitely. Are parallel payments possible if multiple sound-based payment devices are trying to pay to two nearby sound POS systems?
All right. So that's a great question. So let me maybe give you an example, right, of a retail store that has multiple billing systems placed at maybe 6 feet distance or 7 feet distance. So we have the capability of controlling the proximity, distance of of the sound, and that gets evaluated when you kind of place that solution in the billing on the billing system. So if we see that two billing systems are nearby, we can control the sound. We can maybe reduce the volume and ensure that the data does not get passed to the other queue or other billing POS that can create confusion. To answer your question, technically, yes, you can make payments from multiple, you can make payments if there are two sound devices nearby. So we handle that technically again by controlling the volume. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thanks. And thanks, Timmy, for the question. Is someone here from Frederick is asking sort of when will the customer be able to use digital cash in these ultrasonic payments? How would one change which account will be debited when doing a payment? So it's sort of two questions here. So I guess sort of we have connected the two technologies. I don't know if Patrik, do you want to answer that one? When will the customer be able to use digital cash for ultrasonic payments?
Yeah, and I think we can go back to the project Yuvaraj had one slide about, and we have touched it. We will actually have on Monday a handover meeting where we will go through what we have done in regards to integrating the ToneTag SDK and ultrasound technology into our showcase apps. That will be delivered as a proof of concept to this wallet provider. And based on that evaluation, they plan to do an integration into their own wallet by end of Q2 and then run pilots in Q3. So if everything goes well and they're happy, then I would say by the end of this year or maybe early next year, we should have our first commercial launch together with this partner. And as Vijay said, getting into this player will definitely bring synergies to other actors in the Indian market and hopefully also globally moving on.
The other question was, how would one change which account would be debited when doing a payment? I don't think there is any change, isn't it?
No.
So it's sort of, we just transfer data and we can do it over ultrasound, but that's the same as transferring over QR. So no change in a way. We don't changing actual the accounts in any way. That's still the same backend.
Yeah, as I explained, our interaction is while being offline, we need methods to transfer data, to transfer the offline data, and to connect the payer with a payee. So that's our that's where we so to say come together. And then what's happening in the back end and between accounts, that will be up to the payment service provider to handle.
Yeah, and just to sorry, also just clarifying here as well that it's the payment providers or the wallet that we are talking about here, their consumer app and merchant app, which are what the customer is talking and the merchant is using, and they are already connected to an account. So that's the account being used here, leveraging our technology at the back end. So I think that's the difference, that the consumer has already attached an account into that payment side, and so has the merchant. So we're just riding on the same infrastructure in a way, which is so much easier, both for consumer and merchant.
Yeah. Frederick's also asking, it comes to feature phones as well, I guess. Could you have an old phone debiting the SIM card? And I guess if I take that, it's not the SIM card itself. You overlay on the SIM card using something called slim SIM technology. So it's almost like you think that you have what you see on a credit card. That sort of smart chip is sort of implemented in a slim SIM overlay. So it is essentially like paying to a smart chip, but it's in a form factor that fits on top of the SIM. So that's what you do on a feature phone. You don't put it directly on the SIM. We're more questions here. Someone from Joachim is asking sort of what do ToneTag need Crunchfish for?
Someone want to take that up or?
Good question.
So I would say it's a business. Business talks to business, like we said, P2P, right? So we're looking at a problem that has been experienced by a partner, and if we look at expanding our business, why not? So we definitely shake our hands and make sure the technology is used to address such issues, especially the internet and offline payments. And that's where we could play a bigger role, and we could always help Crunchfish to the offline payments.
What would you say, Patrik? So why do ToneTag need us?
No, but we have technology with our digital cash that would serve a big value in India, but also globally. And as we've talked about, it complements what ToneTag is doing in a very nice way. So there's basically no overlap. We need a proximity method. We add a service or some kind of service that are utilizing the ultrasound technology. So I think we add value to their proximity method, and they're in the payment space, so it goes very natural with their already positioning in the market. Yeah, and hopefully we can also help ToneTag as we are working outside of India. And as we have touched, we had Vijay here a few weeks ago. We work a lot in Southeast Asia, and the benefits of ultrasound definitely goes in other countries as well, as it's very scalable. So hopefully we can bring in ToneTag to deals we are making in Southeast Asia and broadening their exposure in the world.
Yeah, I like a lot of that sort of cross-fertilizing with our partnership, sort of that, as you said, Vijay very active in Southeast Asia, and then we can help bring ToneTag there, and likewise, I think if we're gonna have digital cash in India and then on smartphones then and transferring over ultrasound, well, the ToneTag relations will help to bring Viki into in India, and then so there's a lot of good cross-fertilization here. But we've been active. Crunchfish, as many have been following us, we're very strong on proximity interaction as well, and we developed BLE using Bluetooth Low Energy, and ultrasound that ToneTag promotes is sort of an alternative proximity interaction method. But what we have done in Crunchfish, we've sort of started to say, let's be agnostic to the proximity interaction method, and whatever we can use, ultrasound, we can use QR, NFC, BLE, and we've built something that we call digital cash, where we securely can sort of handle a balance and pay in complete offline mode. That's I think how we complement very nicely. What do you see in India here, Vijay, head of India sort of for Crunchfish, and you know the market in India. What do ToneTag need Crunchfish for, and vice versa?
Yeah, I think to all these points that you mentioned, leveraging the partnership and using the offline. But I also feel our digital cash online is also another opportunity where both companies can leverage and create the solution to take the load off this core banking system, right? I mean, which people are struggling with. I mean, that solution and technology that we have can also be leveraged by ToneTag in a lot of ways when we work along with banking partners. So I see offline, I see the digital cash online, and I see this opportunity beyond India as all things which both companies can work together to take to implement. So those are, I think, why I feel this partnership is good for both companies in the long run.
Would you agree, Yuvaraj? Do you see potential long term for this partnership working together here?
Yes, definitely. So like Vijay mentioned, every banking app does have their challenges, and I think wallet is a space where all those challenges can be addressed. So I'll give you an example of how UPI payments are, the kind of problems we have when it comes to UPI payments at times. Maybe when a reconciliation happens towards the end of the month, we do see a lot of failures in terms of callbacks for payments, and that leads to it could be a trust buster for merchants when payments are not getting realized. Right? So solutions like wallet can help burst all those myths, or maybe not lead to such issues. So I think yes, it's going to be a win-win for both when we are enabling payment across the globe, and having a partner can make sure these payments happen without any issues.
Yeah. We got another question, which I think it came in from the LinkedIn flow, that how do we handle, or how do you handle? I guess it's sort of on for you, Yuvaraj. P2p transfers, is that possible also on feature phones, or is it more smartphone to smartphone when it comes to P2p transfers?
You can, indeed, that's a good question. With the solution that we've launched, you can definitely transfer money from one account to another. That's P2P. It need not be always P2M. So whenever you call the IVR, you could choose payment to, payment option to transfer money to a number. All you have to do is dial in the, number on the number pad of the person that you need to pay, and it just will realize the payee and the payer, and the transfers can happen.
Excellent. Any sort of, I think we should start wrapping up. We're coming soon to the hour. Any sort of before we I like to talk about sort of upcoming webinars and so on, but starting from you, Patrik, sort of any comments you want to make sort of on looking forward here?
Yeah.
What's going to happen here? What do you want to add to the?
No, I wouldn't want to take the opportunity to praise the cooperation we've had with ToneTag over the last few months, working towards this joint goal, and the meeting we're actually having on Mondays. The timing is very good. So ToneTag has been very supportive, helping us with the integration. We have had weekly calls every Wednesday morning. We have had calls with their team, going through the status, going through issues we have seen and optimizations we have needed to be done. And I think we have provided some useful feedback also in using the ToneTag SDK, basically as a customer in that sense. So I want to take that opportunity to thank Yuvaraj and his team for the good cooperation we have had over the last few months, coming up to the point where we now are ready to deliver to a very prominent wallet provider in India. It feels great. I mean, it's a big step for us as a company, but also for our partnership.
Would you agree on that, Yuvaraj?
Yes, we were equally excited to see how this solution or maybe our SDK can be integrated and help you burst all those issues that you see across the globe when it comes to offline payments. And yes, we are happy, to ensure that we could use this technology and enable the offline payment in digital cash. Yes, we look forward to the presentation we have on Monday. We're gearing up for the same.
Yeah, and you, Vijay, you are the man who is sort of talking directly to this sort of leading Indian e-wallet provider. Sort of what's and I know you're excited. What's any words from you?
And I would say this wallet provider is equally excited, which is very important to implement this solution. So they are also looking forward to this meeting. They are keen to see the demo, how this works. And there have been multiple use cases, which I think has been talked about, that once we implement this in the pilot, where all can we take this? And some of them are very, very exciting. I remember in one conversation many months back, Vivek had even, Vivek, who's one of the founders at ToneTag, had also talked about in-flight payments, for example, which is, you can't make calls, there's zero, right? I mean, even in those scenarios where he had spoken about some stuff that they had tried earlier and it didn't work. So yeah, very exciting about all we can do going forward. Yeah.
Fantastic. No, and thank you, Vijay, for all your hard work for getting us this far, and not just with this opportunity, but also other things. And so I think it's been great. So again, a big thank you to you, Yuvaraj, for a great presentation and stepping in here and providing all this insight to how your fantastic ultrasound technology or sound technology is actually working. I want to look ahead a little bit. We have some, this is the April schedule that is coming up. Oh, I can see now, I forgot to change, but I'll mention it verbally here that it's going to be 8 o'clock Central European time, but it is 11:30 Indian Standard Time. Sorry for that mistake on mine, because we changed to daylight savings over the weekend here. And it's kind of funny, on April Fool's Day, we're going to talk about security, but we'll take the risk. A big problem for offline payments is what is called double spending. And there's a lot of mechanisms in place and I think we're doing a really good job. And we're going to talk about digital cash security and particularly around the aspects of double spending, which is the key problem to solve when it comes to offline payments. We're going to have our R&D director, Daniel Mileson, who will talk about all what we do in order to generate the whole process of training data, which is what's driving our neural nets for gesture interaction. That will be on April 8th. Then on April 15th, it is Good Friday, and we realize it's a public holiday both in Sweden as well as in India. So we decided actually for this would be the first Friday we won't have a webinar. So we skip April 15th, but on April 22 instead, it will be a presenter from India again, and there will be Mr. Sanjay Thakur, who will be talking about an CBD accelerator that we are setting up. More news on that soon, and this is very exciting, I feel. That will be on April 22nd. And then on April 29th, it's more of a broader Crunchfish focus, and we decided to talk a little bit about the Crunchfish DNA. and how we go about to be quite a dramatic disruptor as a company in the industries that we are working in. So Crunchfish DNA on the April 29th. So I guess that's we're coming up to the hour, and I am again thanking you, Yuvaraj, thanking Patrik, and thanking you, Vijay, for sort of making this sort of show of you know, the survival of the fittest webinar, the 12th in order. And I hope to see you back next week when it's going to be digital cash security on April Fool's Day. So with that, I'll put on some Mob Deep again with survival of the fittest. And I thank everybody for listening, and hope to see you next week again. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.